Ladies and gentlemen, if you follow me on Instagram, or if you can even read a title, you know exactly where this video is going. I just bought another B8 S4, and this time it's manual with a 6-speed, 3 pedals. Doesn't get any better than that. So let's go check this thing out. Oh, and did I mention that it's heavily modified? Now, this is your first time here to the channel. I previously owned a B8.5 S4 and a B8 S4, both prior to this car. Both of those cars were DSG. The first one was bone stock, like nothing done. It had a intake and an X pipe from ECS. And then the B8.5, which you can see all over my channel, was basically full bolt on E40, the whole 9 yards. Anything that you could really do to these cars was done to that. So if you're interested in that, be sure to check out the channel and see what all I have posted on those cars. I am an automotive channel, obviously, here on YouTube. I shoot the post 2 to 3 times a week. We do everything from Mustangs to Audis. My dad just left in the Duramax. All my friends got cool cars. And I just like to shoot everything. I'm not one of those enthusiasts that are into just one type of car. I like everything, and I like to post everything here on the channel. So if that sounds like something that floats your boat, be sure to stick around, subscribe, and you might enjoy yourself. So I ended up buying another S4 because, well, for one, I've been daily driving this pig. A turbo Fox body, not really the most practical thing to be driving every day, especially with the radials on it, and when it rains, it's all bad. So yeah, this just hasn't been fun to daily drive the past few weeks. So I was like, crap, I need to get another daily because this just isn't working out. I sold my B8.5, I think like 2 weeks ago, something like that, 2-3 weeks ago. Got a decent amount of money for it. So I was like, what could I get to replace this car? And I ended up back in another B8 S4. Now, I'm actually kind of glad I got another S4 because this one has a lot of different things that my other car did not have. A couple of the main notable things. Obviously, the 6-speed manual. This car has RS nav. Completely different, like, interior trim. It doesn't have the carbon fiber. It's got the aluminum. It's got the Panda seats. All while still being very modified. The car is dual pulley, ultra charged. I'll get more into that later in the video. But I kind of just wanted to change it up a little bit and get into something manual. I don't know why I really wanted to, but I've heard so many good things about these cars with a 6-speed, and I was like, might as well try it, because why not? Now, I got a pretty kicking deal on this car. It's probably one of the cheaper manual cars here in the country. It does have higher mileage, but I'm not really one to be too scared of higher mile cars. My Duramax has 360K on it. My old S4, my black B8 had 145,000 miles. And it was a DSG car, and I really never ran into any issues other than oil consumption. This car is a B8 as well. It's actually older than my black car was. This is a 2010, and it has about the same mileage at 145,000. But to be honest, guys, seeing all the maintenance records this car has and how well it drives and everything, I'm just not worried one bit. And on top of that, it is manual, so I don't have to worry about the DSG issues or any of that jazz. And I can just focus on the stuff that matters and actually just drive the car. So with that being said, the manual cars typically are a little bit more reliable in the fact that you don't have to worry about the DSG absolutely crapping the bed and you being out $5 grand to fix that. So that's obviously a benefit and something I was looking for in a long-term car to get me by until I get like a B9 or something along those lines. I do apologize for the car being dirty right now. It's been raining like nonstop here in Ohio. But this car is a sports diff car, Panda interior, like I said before. The car is equipped with the beautiful Panda interior. It has the RS nav, so it has wireless CarPlay and all that stuff. And the best part about it all, it came with full maintenance records over its entire life, many of which have been done at Audi Tampa down in Florida. This car spent most of its life actually down in Florida. Now, I ended up purchasing the vehicle down in Connecticut. I flew down, drove it home, and really had no issues on the way home. But unfortunately, I did run into some issues, which I'm going to get into here in a second. But overall, it is a good thing that the car has spent most of its life down in Florida, so you don't have to really worry about rust or anything. It's extremely clean underneath. Before me, a detailer owned it. There's like no scratches at all in the paint, like none of those little fine scratches. He ceramic coated it and did all that stuff. And this thing cleans up so nice. Like if I go to the car wash and spray this off, it will just stay shiny and all the water just beads off, which is really cool. So before I get into the issues with this car, I might as well touch on what all is done to it modification-wise. If you're familiar with this platform, you obviously see the bigger throttle body right off the rip. And typically cars that have a bigger throttle body are also dual pulley. So meaning you replace the supercharger pulley and the crank pulley, which in turn creates more boost so you can push more timing and obviously make more power. So this car is APR Stage 2 Plus dual pulley, has the Ultra Charger, the APR Supercharger pulley, and the 187mm crank pulley. The car is currently setting on its winter wheels, which still look not too bad. They are 18-inch S4 rotors, but the car did come with some 19-inch Avant-Garde. I believe they are the M580. Very aggressive offset, and they sit very concave. I'll drop a picture here soon. It's the same wheels that you would see in the thumbnail. Car obviously has a RS grille. To go along with being dual pulley, I don't know if you can really see it, but down in, you're not gonna be able to see it, has a forged heat exchanger and a divorce coolant system to help keep the car cool. This car is sitting on very, very pricey Öhlins coilovers. These things ride great. Like, this car is pretty dang low, and man, does it ride nice. The car has an AWE touring exhaust with high flow catalytic converters. Now, my B8.5 was catless, so it had Red Star test pipes. If you can see down in there, she still has cats, but they are high flow cats. And honestly, this car sounds amazing with the high flow cats. It's very quiet, but when you want to be a little obnoxious, you can be. Continuing on with the suspension stuff, the car has the full ECS drivetrain insert kit. Although it does not have upgraded sway bars, which I will probably get to here soon. The S4 is equipped with a short throw shifter. I believe it is the Eurocode one. Feels amazing. I mean, amazing. It's butter smooth. Has an upgraded clutch from Clutch Masters. I believe it is the 30 or 350 or something like that. That I do plan to upgrade because I looked more into it, and I really don't think that clutch is rated for dual pulley torque and power. Along with that clutch, the vehicle does have a lightweight flywheel and upgraded slave cylinder. Completely forgot to mention this with the suspension things, but the car does have adjustable upper and lower control arms, which is really cool. You can make them however you want to adjust camber and all that crazy stuff. I mean, I'm not really big into the whole camber gang and all that stuff, but you can adjust it if you do want to go that route, or if you want to take a more track-specific route with the vehicle, you're more than welcome to do so. And last but not least, I actually was in the maintenance records, and it looks like the car has a ported blower, which is pretty sick. It is also port matched up here to the throttle body to get maximum flow and just make sure everything flows as it should. Overall, it is a beautiful ride. I'm very happy with all the modifications that were done to it. It's all good parts. Nothing was really cheaped out on. I can't wait to make a video on the RS Nav. That's something I'm very looking forward to. And overall, a car review on this thing, because I apologize, I got microfibers in there from when I was cleaning it, but this thing is pretty sweet compared to the DSG cars, and I do understand the hype. So what is wrong with this thing? Like, what am I keep talking about, yeah, it's got some sort of problems, like what's wrong with it? Now, if you paid attention earlier in the video, you looked closely, you saw the coolant is a tad low, and by a tad low, it's below the min line. So it seems as though the vehicle has coolant loss of some sort, which honestly, since the coolant system is divorced, it narrows down what this could be a whole bunch. The divorce coolant system, this runs through the heat exchanger and the blower, so that's completely separate. So that minimizes possible things that could be wrong with the car, so it helps you narrow down what is actually wrong. Based off of my previous ownership of two S4s, I already know what the issue is with the coolant loss. You pop the oil cap off, it's got a little bit of moisture on there. Telltale signs that the PCV is on its way out. Now in the PCV, there are these little coolant channels that are made of plastic, and they seem to crack and go bad, and that results in some coolant loss and or oil and coolant mixing. So if you're ever in the market to buy an S4, it's good to make sure that that has already been done. Unfortunately, this car has already had the PCV done, and the water pump and the thermostat, or at least according to the maintenance records, but they were done about 5 years ago. So it is very well possible that these parts could be wearing and going bad again. Now, when I went outside to start the car the one day, before I started it, it's a new car. I just want to make sure everything's good. I popped the hood and noticed the reservoir was completely bone dry. I didn't see any leaks at all. I didn't see anything that looked out of the ordinary. And I was like, well, what the heck? I was like, there's no way this PCV took a crap on me, but it sure looks like it did. So while we have the supercharger off to do the PCV, it's good to just do the water pump and thermostat as well, because they are also common failure points. And there's no point to just replace one thing and then a month later another part go wrong. Then you got to take the blower off and do it all again. I was talking with my buddy Matt over at DAP Repair. Shout out to them. If you're familiar with DAP on YouTube, they actually opened up a shop here in Ohio, in Kent, which is kind of local to me. It's not too far away. They're really good guys over there. Well, it's only Matt, but he's a really cool guy. I got a hold of him, was letting him know what was going on. So I'm going to trailer the car up tomorrow to hopefully fully diag everything and make sure that's the route we need to take with the vehicle. But after owning 2 previous S4s, I am almost certain that is the issue. And I'm kind of ticked about it, but what are you going to do? And it's good that I'm doing this for my own self-assurance, because if I own the car long term, I would like to know that it was done recently and that I'm not going to have to worry about it. I guess we can go over some other issues with the car. The brake indicator did come on like right before I got there to test drive the car. The guy was honest with me on that. He did include some brand new brakes, which these don't look too bad, but when you're driving, they definitely need some rotors and pads up front at least. So I need to replace that to turn off the brake light and the brake pad indicator in the MMI. Obviously, we need to fix the PCV issue, so I stop having coolant loss. I'm really not going to be driving the car in the meantime, just because I don't want to hurt it, because that's not a good thing to do. Heading into the interior, the car needs a brand new shift boot for the shifter. That's no big deal. Not really worried about that. The cable for the hood latch snapped off, so that's right there. You got to open up with pliers. Once again, that's a common Audi issue. Not really worried about that. You just route it through there and put the new hood latch on. And last but not least, I'm not sure if it will really pick up on camera, but the interior could definitely use a deep clean. The white is kind of faded. Definitely needs a full detail, pretty deep, in-depth detail at that. Because I don't think that Florida sun played too lightly on these seats. So we'll bring them back to life. Shouldn't be too rough of a job. But overall, I'm exceptionally happy with the car. It is a clean title car. Got a really good deal on it, I think. Even though it might need that PCV done, I still think I got a really good deal on it. It is a 2010 B8, as I said before. Sports diff car, Panda interior, 6-speed manual. It is currently sitting at like 145. Which, to be 100% honest with you guys, I'm not all too worried about the car at that mileage. I've already owned a B8 at this mileage. And I bought that car with no maintenance records. So I definitely took a risk on that, and that car treated me very well. I think after I do the PCV, water pump, and thermostat, this car will do the same. I don't really plan to beat on it all too bad, just because I want to like keep the longevity of the clutch up until I get like a stage 3 ringer or something along those lines. But overall, I think the car's been a good buy. I think it's going to treat me well. I do plan to keep it for some time. There's definitely a ton of content I want to make with this car that I was unable to make with my old S4. Mainly like the differences between the DSG and the manual, to see if mainly the manual hype is worth it. This car has the RS nav, which I always wanted to get in my white car. Can't wait to make a bunch of videos on that. And ultimately, just the glow up of this car, coming from where I first purchased it to where it ends up. I got big plans for it. If there's anything that you guys definitely want to see, for sure, comment it down below. I'm open to any idea. If there's something you guys want to see that I haven't already posted about in regards to this platform, let me know. With that being said, guys, that's just about sums it up. Thank you for watching the video. I hope you like my new S4. I am very glad to be back in the B8 S4 community. You guys are the best. That's kind of how my channel even got started, was off my S4. So I'm glad to be back, and this time in a manual. This car is pretty spicy as it is, and I might take it to the next level. We'll see. So if you don't already follow me on Instagram, be sure to do that. Same as my YouTube. If you haven't already subscribed, like, comment down below what you want to see, because I need more ideas. And on that note, guys, I am out. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one.